The San Jose Earthquakes have acquired star center forward Chicho Arango from Real Salt Lake. I'm told it is for about 1.5 million in gammon allocation money plus an international roster spot. I don't know if that's the full return, but Chicho Arango to the San Jose Earthquakes. That deal is done. It is happening right now.
Hey everyone, welcome to a very special episode of the RSL Bros.
This is different. This is different.
This, this is not normal. We don't do this. Christian, you're very sad.
Well, I'm wiping tears away. This has been I haven't been able to take it all in yet.
So guys, this is a special episode only because we don't do this on a normal basis. We do the once a week show, and we if we miss something like a couple days afterwards, we usually get it on the next episode. But today was just too darn special in the bad way.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I mean, special it can be good and bad, but today was a day full of news, and we've received a couple requests from some of you saying, "Hey, we want to hear your guys' reactions to this." So this is going to be a reaction episode to all the news that happened today, plus a couple. Maybe we're going to build on top of the opinions that we gave just this last episode that was released 2 days ago, or yesterday, 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. So we'll just start with the big one, the big banger. The news that Chicho Arango is now going to San Jose. This threw me for a huge loop. And I'm gonna preface this with the following. What we're gonna say in this episode is 100% our opinion. We have no facts. We don't know anything behind any of this. So today is our opinion and what we think about this whole situation, what we think is going to happen moving forward. Heck, we're even talk about the past a little bit, what we think happened. But again,
And any numbers that we talk about as well as just what's been reported as of January 10th. But until something's officially announced by the club, that's speculation as well.
Yeah, so 100% speculation. We have no insider whatsoever. So, with that being said, I need your guys's, because the people want to hear it. What was your guys' reaction? Marcos, I'm going to go with you. What was your initial reaction to the Chicho news?
I still don't believe it. Obviously, it's real, but I still didn't believe it in the moment that it's real. Out of all clubs, San Jose. I can't wrap my head around it. We bought Chicho for so much, but we sell him for 1.5. I just can't wrap my head around the why. It's just it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. A star player who was doing so well at the first half of the season and then drops off. Like, yes, I understand that aspect of it, but give the man a break. Everybody goes through those rough patches, but come on.
I can tell you that most RSL Nation shares your sentiment. Christian.
I'm astounded. I mean, I was in the middle of work and a meeting when I saw it presenting, but, and I'm baffled. I'm astounded. I mean, I thought at least with him in the community, obviously we're going to probably talk about our thoughts of what could be going on internally with the team, etc. But him and the team and the community, I thought it was going well. He seemed to love Utah, love this fan base, love the you could tell he loved playing for the club.
Yeah. Yeah, he loved playing for fans. And I think that really describes Chicho. I feel like that describes Chicho in general. He loves playing for the fans. He plays for the person that comes to the stadium. But that's not how the business works, is it? So let's dive into some speculation. Why not? Because that's why we're here. So here's where we're gonna go with this. Why San Jose? We're gonna start with that question first. Why San Jose? And I'm gonna leave that to Christian first.
honestly, I kind of have to go with something that Marcos mentioned earlier in our private, super secret private RSL Bros chat,
Super, super private.
I, um, where obviously, and we talked about this a little bit last earlier this week in the previous episode, how obviously for these foreign players, eventually they're going to want to go home to their countries. And Chicho being 29, not going to end up in a major league, unfortunately, anymore. Kind of starting, and you can tell if you follow him on social media at all, he's starting to set himself up for post career
Hmm.
smartly. And so, hey, Nacional was on the radar, and I bet they were throwing some numbers, and they've got to have some funnel where all the clubs, you can see everybody's offers everywhere just coming in and out, and
Hmm.
um, saying, and San Jose was like, oh, we can offer that in a better league. I, I, I hate to speculate this, but I almost feel a little bit of dirty play by San Jose. San Jose was going through not dirty as in like illegal or
No, no,
anything,
no,
but
no, no.
just a little unethical. But I mean, this
Like
is
a
a cut
shot below the belt.
shot, yeah,
Yeah.
shot below the belt where you see a player who's a star player who's disgruntled at his current club because obviously he wouldn't have left if he was 100% happy,
Right.
and they're like, hey, we just came into a bunch of money because apparently caps don't exist anymore. Don Garber, and we'll pay you all this money to come out here. And he was like, you know what? Okay. And especially with his best friend on the team, Andres Gomez, leaving, and the person he had the best chemistry with, he was like, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Marcos, what do you got? Why San Jose?
Yeah, like obviously this is all speculations, this is all our opinion. I for one, I'm gonna say he didn't jive with those in the locker room with RSL. That's just my opinion. Maybe, possibly. Second half of the season. And then I think with Ibobasi heading off to LAFC, that kind of cleared up some space. He's like, hey, if I go to San Jose, I'm going to be that star striker once again. So why not? I enjoyed being in California the first time with LAFC. Obviously, it's a different part of California, but why not? This is going to be kind of a rebuild, and I think I could be that face of this team that needs a lot of help with a new coach, a lot of Hispanics that I can jive with and play with. So
Um, and in fact, there was I think San Jose is doing a rebuild, like what you're saying, but their rebuild is like overhaul. Bruce
yeah,
Arena is the head coach
hmm
right now,
yeah,
and so with Bruce Arena, he doesn't like to fail. I mean, no one does, but
no.
we know Bruce Arena to be a competitor and
He's a
a
smart
winner.
coach.
Oh, he's like, yeah, smart coach, perfectionist.
Right. And so when you have someone like Chicho in the situation that you guys already mentioned, you want to grab him. And on top of that, when you have a player already on your team, like where is it? So you have Christian Espinosa,
Hmm
Mhm.
super good. You have Hernan Lopez. Just those three right there, from what we understand of San Jose's lineup, it's gonna be a Christian Espinosa, Hernan Lopez, I think maybe attacking mid, and a Chicho up top.
That
Again,
makes sense.
I think, I'm afraid to say this, that is more deadly in terms of attack than what we ever had.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what RSL was trying to evolve into eventually, but it wasn't working. The we weren't People wanted to leave the office before it could ever happen.
And the
Yeah,
damnedest thing about all of this is we kick off our season against San Jose.
that
Yep.
that is that's the
That is
damnedest
the
thing.
Oh,
that is the cherry on the steaming pile of crap.
Yeah.
we gotta go to San Jose, then to San Jose.
No, no, vice versa. We're going to, oh yeah, never mind. Oh gosh, guys, this day has me like doing loops. All right. So let's leave the fact that he's going to San Jose off to the side. Great. Good for San Jose. Um Everyone's wondering how did we get to this point? And I think that's what people want the answers to. No one has the answer.
I was
But
like, I want those answers.
yeah, but let's just discuss all the answers that we've heard of the past 6 months, And let's just, for the sake of all the listeners, let's just go over all the ones that maybe the major ones you think had the biggest impact. Christian, which one of the many stories had do you think has the biggest impact in Chicho leaving?
Mm, honestly, I wonder what really pushed him over the edge was how his suspension was handled.
Hmm.
Because we saw a drop off when Andres left, but there was still performance there. But then it
It was suspension and then Gomez left.
oh that was it.
Yeah.
Correct.
But still, I think it was the suspension that did it because he just never recovered. There was just something off after that suspension. And I wonder if it was something that management said to him or even Pablo said to him, even though I don't know if I would believe that on that end, just having, we've had the privilege of interacting with Pablo several times. Um, and I just wonder if it was just like
Something with
I
that.
something with that. And I wonder if it's ownership just telling him to reel it in and not be himself and just kind of, hey, you need to play our style, not your style.
Hmm.
And I wonder if San Jose is like, dude, you come here, you do you.
Which is kind of funny because I think when he came to RSL, I think we told him that, hey, you do you. We're just going to get you the ball and you do your thing. And so if what you're saying could be true, that then somewhere during 2024 season, something flipped and no one wanted him to be himself. Hmm. Marcos, which story do you think had the biggest impact? I mean, obviously, rumor. Which rumor?
Yeah. Obviously, the suspension. Suspension was huge. We saw with him be suspended those amount of games, it lost his self confidence. It lost his willingness to score those goals that we needed to desperate and to be able to break that record, which he would had that monkey on his back for the longest time. And with all of that, I think that kind of, I guess, it lost his self confidence, and then had that into his mind. What if? What if I go to back to Colombia? What if I go to a different club in MLS? And I think that's where all the rumors kept on coming and coming, and then San Jose came to the table and offered him a better offer than what we could in the long run.
Hmm, interesting. So I'll add on to what you guys are saying. So I think the suspension had something to do with it, but I think it came from whatever the suspension was, because the suspension was brought down from the league, right? And
Yeah.
normally when we see a league suspension of a player, we usually see some kind of statement made by the team saying
Mhm.
we will support our player in correcting this whatever, or we stand by our player.
And we did not see that at all.
I don't remember a
No,
single statement being sent out by RSL when
not at
he
all.
was suspended, and I think that is strike one out of
Mhm.
who knows how many strikes there are, but
Yeah.
I think that might have had a big impact. Him feeling that the club did not have his back for whatever the situation was, um, because 4 games for no explanation is quite big for all of us. We don't. I mean, there were little hints here about it was some kind of
Language,
what was it, harassment?
harassment,
So,
language.
something like that.
Yeah, and we don't know the full story of it, and so. With one, the team not coming out and giving a statement. Two, probably Chicho didn't feel the team had his back, and that right there literally is where the tide turned. Um, and I think things just kept growing on top of each other.
Mhm.
There's not just one specific situation, but we talked about a lot about this during the season where Chicho and Luna didn't seem to mesh. How many times did we see Chicho try to fight for the ball, try to fight for a shot, and gets a whack shot off, and Diego just kind of like throws up his arms, like, "Hey, why didn't you pass it to me?" kind of thing, or vice
Many,
versa.
many times, many times.
We talked about it so many times during the season. I remember those times too because I mean, I think I've mentioned it the most. But here are some other things that have been floating around, but just from things that we've heard from other people. I have them written them down. I have them written down. He didn't. He probably didn't like the fact that Gomez was sold when he was sold.
Mhm.
Okay, huge factor. I mean, which one of you guys said
Huge.
that? That him and Chicho. I think Marco said it. Him and Chicho got along really well in the field, or maybe it was you, Christian. Whatever. One of you guys. Um, and it's true. Between the two of them, how many goals did they have last season? 30?
Close to 30, yeah.
30 goals between the two of them, and countless numbers of assists too. So that's huge. And when you sell Gomez, you've taken half of Chicho's play.
Yeah.
Um, Another one. I want to get you guys' opinion on this one. Christian, you already made mention of this. He maybe didn't get along with Pablo Mastroeni. Do you think how true do you think that is?
I could see it being, yeah, absolutely true, because there's been many
Oh,
times where
absolutely.
no, well, no, but there's been times where us as fans have not liked the way Pablo coaches, and it's taken us time to get used to that. And I think Chicho being in his mindset wants it his way, and it's been frustrating to get adjusted to Pablo's tactics.
Hmm. Okay, Christian, what do
I,
you
I
think?
could I could probably see that a bit where it's not a they didn't like each other, it's that they didn't see eye to eye on tactics and how things are run. Um, and that could be frustrating, especially when you come in and you're supposed to be the star player, then you have this coach telling you, I need you to do this.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and we know that Pablo doesn't have the strongest pedigree either in terms of coaching. In fact, it's quite weak. Coaching Colorado for 3 years, and then going MIA for a couple of years, and then becoming an assistant coach, and then moving back up to a head coach. Um,
RSL's been his strongest stint by far.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
done well.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got to give him credit. He has done well. Rocky moments for sure.
he's done well with what he's been given in terms of I think the front office has given him the talent enough to succeed. I'm not sure if it's a lot to do with Pablo's tactics. That's just my opinion.
It's been mostly players that have been helping him out in the long run to to get
But
to where
sure,
the
that's always going to be a factor, though.
Right. Um, eh, and I did mention this earlier, sometime during the season, that in fact, I think I mentioned this exact situation where I didn't think Chicho and Pablo were getting along, and I had mentioned that Hispanic on Hispanic pride is that's a no-win battle. No one's gonna win. So if Pablo did not want to concede anything, especially with Chicho, and we know how prideful Chicho is, there's probably a butting of heads of ideas or tactics somewhere around there. So it's a possibility. Um, Problems in the locker room. I personally don't see much, but maybe this will change your guys' mind. There's a lot more players that did Instagram posts saying goodbye to Matt Crooks than no one did it for Chicho.
I think though that's just because it hasn't been officially announced yet.
that's true.
Once it's
That's true.
officially announced, we'll see stuff.
Let's keep an eye on that because
That's
that's a telltale of what was going on in the locker room, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of love on the post that I saw for Instagram stories for Matt Crooks from Catranis, from Lachlan Brook, from others, which just shows you that kind of love. But yeah, like you said,
mhm.
we'll keep an eye on that once it does become official for Chicho.
Um, One of the other things that I saw was people were saying that he wants more money. Um, I I don't understand the deal, but from the looks of it, just glancing, it didn't look like more money. Like, where's the more money? If we were paying him 3 million a year,
And now it just got dropped to 1.5.
I'm not sure where the more money is. But then again, I'm not a business guy in sports, so that's a lot going on. Now, how does this affect? Now let's talk about everyone. Everyone's changing now.
Let's talk about the roster for RSL. So
Ugh.
obviously we brought on Elias from New York Red Bulls, and at the moment he is our sole only striker.
He
Well,
really is.
we have other ones, but
Who?
well we have
So
Gozo.
I wish.
Gozo is out on loan, isn't he?
No.
Or that's Bell that's out on loan.
Yeah.
That-
Actually, and I was going to bring this up because I knew we were going to talk about it. Elias's backups are going to be Axel Kai and the three forwards that we drafted in the super draft.
Well, maybe I should stop you there because then the guy that the Brazilian guy from Marshall, apparently he's going to the Monarchs. Okay.
They all go to the Monarchs. I'm not.
uh,
Axel Kai's going to Brighton.
But that if that happens,
I come on.
I don't see it happening. But if something like that were to happen, like if you were to go, what's more realistic is what if he goes to Brighton's B team?
that's more likely to happen.
I would say more like Brighton's Academy.
Nah, he's beyond academy at this point.
Ah,
He's too old.
But the case in point, there's no one that we've tried and proved that can actually take a forward spot right now. Because right now,
Because
what
you have Elias, who we just signed from New York Red Bulls, and if you look at the past games, he was literally riding the bench. Never has he really
Yeah.
had a games that he started. We can't have a player like that be thrown right into the fire right away.
Guess what? It's happening.
That's the sad reality. It seems like
Unless we go out and we were joking about this earlier. If we pick up Neymar or we pick up James Rodriguez or somebody like with all this cap space that's suddenly been freed up.
Well,
we missed out on James, unfortunately. He's off to Leon.
Is that
Well, that-
official? That
I
I
don't thi-
thought that was just a rumor.
well, because I saw another report saying that he was going to Barranquilla Junior or whatever in Colombia. So,
Yeah.
anyways, the thing is, we now have space. We should have money somewhere, and the spots that we have right now, we just Chicho spot cleared up, plus an extra international spot.
Mhm.
Crook's spot cleared up. Um, Elias
Anderson.
takes no
Well,
Elias takes over Anderson Julio's spot, and who else?
Well, you're missing one more spot that we just lost today.
Oh yeah, goalkeeper.
We have one outside of the super draft picks, we have one goalkeeper on our roster.
Yes, and so
One.
at this point, our RSL is probably looking for, or they should be looking for a 9. And some people are arguing, hey, this needs to be a DP 9 because now we have a DP slot open. So
Yes.
how much are we willing to pay for a DP player?
We've got good cash right now.
Mm-hmm.
We might as well use it. But here's the thing as well. Diego Luna.
Yeah.
If I'm the front office right now, I would be terrified of losing Luna. That would be suicide for this club right now. That would be bad monetarily for this club right now. They're in it to make money.
Well,
They're going to lose money if they lose who is the player who is now the face of the club. You look up Real Salt Lake, you're going to see the wonderful tattooed face of Diego Luna.
exactly.
He
exactly.
is Real Salt Lake right now.
Yeah.
Sure, Emeka Anelli's not far behind, but Emeka Anelli is kind of like this dark horse that's making a name for himself. Diego Luna is it. And I was talking to another friend about this earlier, and they brought up the point. If I'm the front office, I'm rebuilding around Diego Luna.
Exactly. 100%.
Eek. And I might have an issue with that because if you build around Diego Luna and you plan on selling Diego Luna this year, that's not a good person to be building around. I think you better be choosing someone else.
I
yes,
think
like
I think with Chicho leaving, the plans to sell Diego Luna this year are gone unless they get a massive offer.
I think try to hold on to Luna as long as you can. And then once you get that good offer from wherever in Europe or wherever he ends up going, then just grab it. Grab it as fast as you can because this team, with now losing Chicho and having those spaces available, we need to fill those spots ASAP because we got CONCACAF Champions Cup in a month. And right now with the roster it's looking, we're gonna get smoked first leg. We don't have a goal scorer.
Yeah, that's super worrying. In fact, that's what's worrying about this whole thing. I mean, since December, we've lost in terms of major impact players. Julio, and now Crooks, Chicho, Gavin. Who else?
I guess if you're going in total, we lost Marcelo, we lost Holt, um,
I mean,
I guess
but like
Chang.
big impact players. We're talking just up front. We lost Crooks, um, Julio, and oh my gosh,
And
And
Chicho.
Chicho
even
and
and even
Gomez.
players that could have stepped in as well that were released, like Rubio Rubin.
Ugh. Yeah. I mean, true. Even though he wasn't a fan favorite at all, we did lose a lot of players. So, um, this is just throwing me for a loop because now we had so many plans for this beginning of the season. We just talked about it an episode or two ago. We talked about we have CONCACAF Champions Cup, we have the season, U.S. Open Cup, and then right after that we had League Cup, and we're like, we're building something right now.
Honestly,
Next,
this was not on my bingo card at all. I was not I was expecting Chicho to be gone after this season, not beginning of this season. This because his contract wasn't up until December.
yeah, and in fact, I preached it last episode. I was like, he's not leaving until his contract is over, guys. He's that kind of guy.
What did we speak into existence, though? But if you take a look at Chicho's history with clubs, he doesn't last long.
No.
So
Elliot,
ultimately, is this a good thing for the club? Did we get rid of somebody who just hops around with a millennial mindset, just goes from club to club to club to club to club,
Yeah.
and not somebody who's a solid foundational piece for the club, someone who we can build around, have a legacy, and when they do go off, it's sad to see them go, but we know the club's in a good place.
no,
Right.
I like that point right there because yes, it's sad to see a player who, ever since Demir Krylak scored 15 plus goals and being that catalyst. But moving forward, we need somebody that wants to be here, like a Justin Glad, like a Nelly, those strong rooted players that know that the team is the star.
Yeah. And I think that's what maybe we should be focusing on because someone was mentioning as well. After 2013, RSL just went downhill.
Exactly.
We went into the dark ages of the club and we went away from it from our identity. Right now, I can't really find our identity. And I think I've mentioned it many times. But if we can find an identity and find a focus on what kind of player we want, we're obviously going to get better. But that leads me into my probably last point before we maybe just wrap this up. Um, there were rumors on Twitter that RSL is currently looking to sign players, and someone was saying that it could be soon. You choose the timeline on soon, but name me I guess I was gonna say name me the important position that you want to fill right now, but it seems kind of stupid to ask that. So
I was like,
I,
I was like,
our
spin the wheel.
our problem's compounded after today.
it they grew exponentially, like times three. Because before when Anderson Julio left, we're like, crap, we got to find a backup. Well, we got Elias, great. That's a younger version of Anderson Julio. Now, in fact, a couple of days ago, before it was made official, everyone knew that Crooks was leaving. Everyone saw that he was going to go to Hull, and we're like,
But
great.
we're out midfield right now. If you go to RSL's website and look at the roster, we literally have, I think, 17 or 18
Uh-huh.
midfielders.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're great on midfielders. We actually could have offloaded midfielders and still be totally okay.
We
We
might have
lost
to.
everything else.
Well, we're gonna have to ask these midfielders if they can play striker if we don't have enough
We're,
come this
we're gonna
season.
field 11 midfielders. This is RMF right now.
Oh my
Real
goodness.
midfield.
Real midfield. That's great. Yeah. In fact, let me share you guys real quick of a reaction I told my son when he got home from school.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, you
I
didn't.
I did.
Ooh.
Oh, you
I
terrible,
said,
you terrible dad.
well, why don't you listen
Oh,
to the reaction first, and you tell me if I'm a terrible dad. Actually, I am pretty terrible. I said hijo, ¿sabes qué pasó? And he's like, ¿qué? And I'm like, Chicho doesn't play for RSL anymore. He's like, what? What? And I'm like, yeah, he went somewhere else. ¿A dónde se fue? San Jose.
Damn
And he's like, why? Oh my gosh. And he was sad. I'm not going to be the exaggerated one that said that he cried and whatnot, but he was sad because Chicho was probably one of his first home club
Mm,
players that he's gotten to love because between all of us, we know that my son just barely became a fan maybe a year or two ago, officially, we'll call it.
Hmm.
And so, um, it's sad to see players like that are heroes to kids leave, but it kind of gives it reminds everyone that obviously players come and go, but
mm.
they leave a huge impact on a community.
Absolutely, 100%. It's gonna be sad seeing Chicho not be wearing the Clarendon Cobalt, but it hurts me to say it, but I wish him the best of luck
Mhm.
in San Jose. Um,
But
not
do you
not 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 the first game of the season though.
No.
But do you know what I feel like as a fan base, what actually died when Chicho's when the announcement was made today? I don't think it was the fact that we are sad that Chicho is leaving. I think we're sad because our hopes and dreams for success died.
Yep.
At least for near future. I think all of our hopes are just died.
But that being said, I think my message to the RSL fan base right now, and they're not going to like this, is don't give up on this club. Don't like it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be sad or a little bit angry, confused, because we're all feeling that. But don't stop supporting the club. The club is more than Chicho Arango, than Gavin Beavers. It's more than the ownership group.
Yeah, and
It's
that's a topic we didn't touch today, but a lot of people are blaming the ownership group, which what do they have to do with it? Probably
and we
some.
d-
Yep.
and we don't
Like
know the details, but we can't be a typical Utah fan base right now. We can't bandwagon.
Yeah.
If you bandwagon, you're everything that's wrong with the Utah fan base. You need to come
100%.
to the game still. You need to cheer for the players who are hurting right now. They lost their captain
Hmm.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Whether
you got to stand up and be loud, be proud to wear the RSL crest, or even though I'm wearing a Royals jersey right now. Uh, um, you got you got to have hometown pride. And if you disagree with me, come after me on social media, and I'll stand my ground. And
Do
you're
it.
not going to find a more stubborn fan than me.
It's true.
No,
It's
I 100% agree with Christian. Like, yes, this has been a very frustrating day. I don't recall another day in an RSL preseason where we've lost. I think what was it, 3 players in one day. Like us we've lost 4 players, 4 main players total this offseason, and this has been like a punch to the stomach. This has been a lot of bad feelings. But echoing off of what Christian, RSL till I die, till the from the good to the bad, support your team all the way through and through. This is going to be a tough season, you guys, but we can get through it.
Yep, as they would say in Argentina, in las buenas y en las malas. We're in the good and the bad. So we're in it. Please don't give up your season tickets. I know some of you are like, I'm getting rid of my season tickets. Don't do it. I mean, this is a team that will be here forever.
Double down, damn it.
Double down.
This
Double down.
team needs you guys more than ever. So stick through it.
Yeah. So there you go. That's our reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Because there's probably a lot more to discuss, but we're just probably just gonna be beating a dead horse. So
Hey,
that's
in
it. What?
a couple of weeks, hopefully, we're going to have reactions of our boys, Diego Luna and Meccanelli, hopefully playing some time for the U.S. men's national team. So, some stuff, we do have good things to look forward to.
A
Yes.
week
The
a
positive.
week from tomorrow, guys.
Ho, 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 ho.
January 18th against Venezuela. So get ready for that game.
Excellent. Guys, thanks for tuning into the special reaction episode and tune into our next episode because it's a little bit longer. We're going to summarize all of it and maybe, hopefully, there's
I'll-
some signings.
Well, I will be going Monday. I'll be heading over to the first day of training. We're getting some interviews, some reactions from players. So make sure you tune into that.
Looking forward to that.
Perfect. Guys, been great. Talk to you guys later.
Ciao,
Bye.
ciao.
Bye.